All right, my name is Hiram Shelton. This is our fourth video for the Victim Advocates of the Utah County Sheriff's Office. And today we are addressing gender bias in male-dominated fields. This was a specific question that we want to tackle today. So women in male-dominated fields. So challenges for women in male-dominated professions include law and law enforcement. Women often face skepticism and underrepresentation. A real-world example of this, women often have to work harder to be taken seriously in courtrooms or law enforcement agencies dominated by male figures, which, let's be honest, is practically all of them, if not all of them. It is a very male-dominated field that we are working in. So gender bias in courtrooms. A lot of these slides are going to be talking about lawyers just because of the courtroom tie, but they are completely applicable for victim advocates as well. So challenges for female lawyers. Women are sometimes not taken as seriously as their male counterparts, particularly in high-stakes environments like courtrooms. Female lawyer facing skepticism. An example of this is a female lawyer facing skepticism from a judge or opposing counsel despite her qualifications. Next slide here. Gender stereotypes and perceptions. So the stereotype here, this is kind of the why behind people's mistreatment of women in this field. They believe women are less authoritative, more emotional, and less capable in male-dominated fields. All these are wrong. Let's just say that right now. These are wrong. And so we need to overcome these stereotypes, and that can happen through many ways. Obviously, it is just kind of part of this field. True change is going to take a long time, and so we need to be prepared for the battle ahead. So women must continuously prove their worth through hard work and professional competence. An example is a female attorney countering stereotypes by demonstrating her legal knowledge and expertise. An example for victim advocates is a female victim advocate who knows her resources, who represents her clients well, and really knows what she's talking about in the courtroom. Next slide here. So strategies to overcome gender bias. So women can use assertiveness, mentorship, and support networks to overcome gender bias in male-dominated fields. The example here is a female lawyer seeks mentorship from experienced female attorneys to gain credibility and support in her career. So just kind of women supporting women, and also being an assertive person in your field. Someone who really knows their stuff is definitely going to help people take you more seriously. In the next slide here, advocating for women's equality in the workplace. So workplace advocacy, this is going to help just in the workplace in general. And if we can kind of affect and change the workplace, we might see some serious changes in the courtroom because of hopefully those feelings and the representation will transfer over. So we need to be pushing for systemic change in law enforcement and legal fields to create more inclusive environments. An example of this would be a law firm or a legal organization implementing policies to ensure women are given equal opportunities for advancement and recognition. We need to be equal in how we do things. As women are doing really well in their job and know their stuff, as many of you are as victim advocates, we need to be recognizing you guys as for the great work that you do. So women in the courtroom. Here's where we get specific about exactly what our problem is, and that is trying to fight against these really terrible stereotypes that keep us down in the courtroom. So the issue of being taken seriously in court, women in legal profession, especially in courtrooms, often struggle with being undervalued or even ignored due to gender biases. Female attorneys or victim advocates, anyone in female leadership roles may face distrust or skepticism from colleagues, judges, and juries. Women attorneys, victim advocates, they've spoken out about gender bias in courtrooms where they are often interrupted, patronized, or dismissed simply due to their gender. Female litigators sometimes experience difficulty in having their expertise taken seriously in front of a jury or male colleagues. So overcoming gender bias in the courtroom, this is our attempt to get past this. Developing expertise and building a reputation as a skilled professional lawyer helps counteract gender bias. So, and then also collaborating with other women in the legal field, mentorship and visibility can create a supportive environment to challenge these biases. In my experience, when a man sees a woman do really well, it creates a trust, and they often will trust that person. For example, a male coach that has a female ref, if they see this ref do well in another game, they're often very likely to trust that ref in another game, and they want that ref to ref all their games because they like their work and they like what they do. If you have even one moment where you can show some serious expertise in the courtroom, you will gain recognition and more trust. And oftentimes, though, it can be really difficult to even get that one moment simply because of the distrust. So a key takeaway here is respect and recognition are earned through expertise, resilience, and confidence, even in male-dominated spaces like the courtroom. The fact is that this is a male-dominated field, and so as a female, not personally, but for females, we have to be patient with the process. It's going to take some time, and so we have to keep pushing hard for it. We have to keep constantly pointing out when mistrust is shown by others, when people aren't taken seriously, and when we're in the courtroom, if the more assertive we can be, the better. Men often will accuse women of being too emotional, and so if you're in the courtroom and you have a victim that you're representing, sometimes it may be better to take a less emotional perspective, just giving the straight facts of the case, and that might just earn some emotional support from the men in the room, just because of that simply that shift in how you act. Overcoming bias. Real life example, Janet Reno, the first female U.S. Attorney General. So she was appointed the first female U.S. Attorney General in 1993. She faced significant gender bias in a position historically dominated by men. She faced challenges. Many questioned her ability to handle the role due to her gender, often undermining her competence. Reno faced skepticism and prejudice from male colleagues in the Justice Department. And Reno focused on her expertise and led with integrity, demonstrating her knowledge of the law and commitment to justice. She made decisive decisions on controversial issues like the Waco siege, or was that Waco? Sorry, Waco siege and the Elian Gonzalez case, which earned her respect from others. The outcome, despite the challenges, she became one of the most respected figures in American legal history. Janet Reno's leadership as Attorney General paved the way for more women to be taken seriously in high-level legal positions. Key takeaway here is that overcoming bias in male-dominated fields requires resilience, professionalism, and a commitment to one's values and expertise. What I love about this example is that it shows that it can be done. It is not as often as it should be. There are plenty of competent, really great working women who are fantastic at what they do. and so they deserve more respect. They deserve to be heard and listened to. These situations, these examples are not as often as they should be right now. But with resilience and hard work, and we continue to fight these stereotypes, it will happen more. And I think we can continue to break through and make some ground. So women supporting women, this is huge. Mentorship. Mentorship is women in male-dominated professions can create support systems to help other women succeed. An example of this is a female attorney serving as a mentor to a younger female lawyer, helping her navigate challenges in her career. As women support women and teach each other the tips and tricks as to, when I did this, I saw that I had more respect in the courtroom, and or when I said this thing, more men listened to me in the courtroom. When I talked slightly louder, or I talked slightly quieter, I talked with more space between words, and people engaged more. Whatever tricks you have, we need to be sharing these. Women need to be sharing their tricks and their what is working to other women, so that we can have these tools in our tool belts and be able to pull out these tools and kind of fight for the respect that we deserve, that you deserve. And again, these are our references, and thanks for listening. I really hope that this helped. And again, I would love to hear some feedback about about if I really answered the question here, if I need to do some more work and need to do some more research. But I really hope that we can kind of talk to each other as victim advocates. I'm sure you guys actually have some different things that work for you, and you might have tips and tricks and tools that you haven't thought of, that you may find very helpful if you guys just talk about what works to get more attention and respect in the courtroom. So thanks for listening.